So my point to you is about networking. You don't know which one of the people you're going to meet could be a substantial client. I don't know if it's going to be $1 million, $10 million, $500,000, $200,000. But the networking process is an excellent way to meet potential clients and develop your business, which is why I put this talk together today. So yes, you will get a bit of pushback at times. Ignore it, because the greater good is curing cancer inside corporates. Corporates have different types of cancer, not medical cancer, but different types of corporate cancer. We, in our businesses, have solutions. In my case, as a training company, my filter is how many people work in your company? You get the card, oh, what do you do? Oh yeah, how many people work in your company? As soon as I hear that, I'm going, where do they fit in to what we can do? You will have a sweet spot. What is your sweet spot? Where can you find the ideal client for your business when you meet someone? You run that filter over them. Very large German company president is attending that. And I've met him before, and I said, oh, I'm very impressed to see you here. This is a mega company we're talking about, right? Global mega company, that you've come to this event. I thought, most people would send their HR people. So he's giving me an education on his company and how they think, and what are all the issues for them inside their business around this whole issue. I learned a lot in just 10 minutes with that gentleman. How hard is it to get to the president of a major global corporation? It's not that easy, but they're there at these events. If you find the right events, you can get access to them. I'm going to confirm one thing for you. Your business is in business to help clients. You are doing something of high value for your clients. You need more clients. You've got the cure for their corporate cancer with your business solution. Be brave. Don't hesitate. Meet people, become known, connect with people, and then build your business and find the $1 million client that you need. Thank you. How about convincing the client to buy? Very, very critical. When I was traveling to Japan in the 1980s, I was based in Brisbane, and I'd come up to Japan on business. In those days, it was a nightmare because I worked for a company called Jones Lang Wooten. So you can imagine, I'm sitting in Brisbane, I'm calling Japan, I'm cold calling clients. Suddenly a phone rings, they pick it up, they get a foreigner speaking in Japanese, and it's all katakana. Jones Lang Wooten no Greg story desu. Can you imagine, right? That is a nightmare. So it was a very, very difficult task to get appointments, but I got the appointments because the object of a pitch is to destroy the pitch. The buyer will try and destroy the pitch because you don't know what to pitch them to. You don't know what to give them, what's the right solution. So I found this is a big problem in Japan. You have to tell the background a little bit more of what you're doing. But I found this very, very difficult. Questioning them, asking permission to get questions. These are the key skill sets in Japan I found in getting through sales. So when you're thinking about talking with your buyers, try and create, when you're presenting your solutions, try and present it in a way that tells a story. Don't just give them the data, because often what we'll get is, oh, here's the data, here's the facts, here's the detail. But we don't buy detail, we buy benefits. So benefits need to be applied. That application of the benefit part with evidence from where it's worked before is what the story should be telling. So what you've done for another client, how they applied the solution, how it benefited them, and this is the detail of how it works before you go into trying to get the sale, as opposed to just giving the detail, which is what most Japanese salespeople are doing. Now, Japan, for the Japanese people in the room, you have a major disadvantage because your language is a monotone language. When I arrived here in 1979, April 1st, 1979, I went to Sophia University, and Professor Yamada was my professor, one of my professors, and we're doing from zero, right? So we're foreigners. So we're like, watashi wa eki ni ikimasu, we're up and down like this, tonal variety. And I remember Professor Miyamada going, no, story-san, fratto, fratto, fratto. Flatten it out. Get it into a monotone like everybody else. So if you're giving a talk, in Japan you say, well, the Japanese have a disadvantage. They don't have that tonal variety. True, but you have two levers you can pull. Even for Japanese people, if you can't get tonal variety, speed and power. Slow it down. Take it down to a conspiratorial whisper, or take it right up for power. You can vary the tone. And I'll give you an example. This sentence has 7 words. There are 7 different meanings in that sentence. Can you see them? 7 different meanings. I didn't say he hit his sister. 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 Right? So by changing the emphasis on key words, I've got 7 different meanings in that sentence. So if we think about when we're speaking, this is very important. Get key words that you want to hit, and you can hit them harder by tone up or down. Think about that. The machine is looking at their faces and working out how they're feeling, and they're feeding to you, your team are not very happy. Maybe you don't even know. Maybe you're too busy. Maybe you're just full bore work, 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 and you're like, you know, don't even look at the team because I'm too busy. I'm looking at my own work. You're not even noticing that someone's unhappy. Someone's got a problem. I mean, realistically, as the boss, that's what we should be doing. But maybe the machines will be doing that for us and telling us, hey, you better talk to George. He's not looking very happy. There's something going on maybe at work or at his home life. He might need some help. Might be good to have a lunch at George and just see how he's feeling. I mean, we should be doing that, but maybe we won't be the only ones doing that. But the machine will say, here are some skill sets that need working. Here's some curated information perhaps on the best practice for that particular area of skill set. And then maybe that's what's given to the trainers, and then they develop training from that. Or maybe the machine creates the training based on that, and then maybe people deliver, or maybe people don't deliver it. As a training company, I hope that the people keep delivering it, but I'm not sure about that at some point in time. But that will get to a point where it may be very highly personalized, and then doing assessments. So the machine's doing the assessments, where again, we're looking at people's capacity, skill sets, knowledge to move up the line. So Julie, the salesperson, turns up in my office. This is what happens. We sit down, he sits down, out comes the laptop. The oyster shell opens up. We go into 60 slides, one after another. Now, we teach sales training, right? So I'm sitting there watching this, thinking to myself, geez, I wonder when this guy's going to ask me a question about my business. No questions. We get to the end of the 60 slides, and I'm silent. You know, I'm still waiting. Is he going to ask me a question? And he's sort of a bit bamboozled because I'm not saying anything. He's sort of spluttering. And I said, look, can you go back to slide 34? In that 60-slide deck, there were 2 slides that were relevant and interesting to me. But we just wasted 25 minutes with a long exposition on what was in the content of all those other slides. And we ran out of time, and in the end, I didn't buy the product. And I was, by any definition, a hot prospect. It's rude to ask buyers questions because, you know, we know that in the West, the buyer is king. But in Japan, the buyer is not king. In Japan, the buyer is God. God does not brook questions from insolent salespeople, is the idea. But that's not true, is it? If you know how to ask questions and ask permission to ask questions, you can get permission. Now, do you think this is very hard? I'll teach you right now how to teach your salespeople how to ask questions of the buyer and get permission. What I'm suggesting to you is we have a lack of professionalism here because people are not properly trained and they just don't know what to do. So let's think about doing an audit on our sales team. Do they know what they should be doing? Are they competent in doing that? Can we help them to do better? And therefore, can we make our companies more successful? Because the people do make the difference. They are the key. You've got to grow your people and grow the business through making them more skilled in many of the areas I talked about. So let's make a bigger effort and let's retrain the buyer to expect a very professional salesperson coming through the door, and let's differentiate ourselves from our rivals and we'll all do better. Thank you very much.